Hello guys, the coin here. So I decided to hop in again to make to share some economic news from Portugal and all around the world. And since we're at it, we're going to make a market update. So Bitcoin is looking actually quite weak after taking a look at what happened to the stock market. So the stock market started to pump pretty hard after it began trading here when the market opened. It topped out around 26,647. That is the Dow Jones. It's starting to dump again right now. Let's take a look at the SPX, the S&P. So the S&P is resuming its dumping as well. The Nasdaq actually started to dump here as well after it reached the tops here. So the Nasdaq is still continuing to drop. What I find interesting is that Tesla was losing its momentum here. So I guess it filled the gap. I don't know if it's still going up. This index that you're seeing here, that is in orange, is the VIX. So what the VIX does is that it inverses correlates what the stock market does. It's already at 30. So generally the VIX does this. So when the market dumped in April, the VIX made its high at 79.8, right? And what was happening today is that the VIX was going up while the stock market was going up. So that generally doesn't happen, guys. Or, that's not how it works. If the stock market goes up, the VIX go down. If the stock market goes down, the VIX goes up. So once again, the VIX here, the VIX. Let me just take a look at how much the VIX has gained compared to the stock market, which is not usual, guys. There's something going on in the market right now, which does not make any sense. So the S&P 500 VIX index is up 10%, guys. So how is it possible for the VIX index to go 10% up, and the stock market is also up? The Dow Jones is at 1.17, the S&P 0.26, the Nasdaq is actually going down. So if the VIX is going down, the markets have to go down, because that's how it works. That's how the rules are in regards of this indicator. So there seems to be a lot of confusion in here, although I believe this is the ultimate indicator, telling us that the stock market is ready for a dump. Because once again, all we have to do is take a look at the Dow Jones and take a look at the VIX, right? So the VIX is now starting to gain momentum as the Dow Jones continues to fall. I'll be going to Bitcoin in a moment to see what's going on. You see this, guys? When the stock market or the Dow Jones started to dump here, right? The Dow Jones inverse correlated. So the Dow Jones dumped and the VIX started to go up, right? And then after it reached the top, which coincides with the low on the stock market started to gain momentum and the VIX dropped. So for the VIX already to be 10% today and the stock market already being 10%, I believe this is the reversal, guys. I believe that despite the stock market making new highs, I believe that the VIX is the clear indicator that the markets are going to rebound, are going to dump, So let's take a look at what Bitcoin is actually doing. I believe it should be dumping as well here a little bit, as the stock market is starting to dump. Yep. So it looks like Bitcoin is dumping a little bit, not that hard, because once again, the stock market, the Dow Jones was making a lot of gains, and Bitcoin actually stalled here. It actually stalled around this level. Instead of going back to around 9,400 level, no, it just continued to go down. It actually started to dump first, or started to go down first before the stock market. So once again, guys, I believe this is the indicator that we're seeing here. I believe this must be the last attempt to bring the markets higher, because like I said, guys, even take a look at the correlation between the VIX and the Bitcoin price. Let me just remove the drawings here. Do you see this, guys? This was a dump with the stock market here, right? Look what happened to the VIX. Look what happened to the VIX, guys. And the VIX is starting to go up while the market is going up. Like I said, guys, this generally doesn't happen. So I believe this is a reversal. We are going to reverse from here. Let me just take a look. Let me take a look at the indicator itself on the 4-hour. Look, it's looking bullish, right? It's looking bullish. It looks like the VIX is wanting to go up. So once again, the VIX is at 10.48%. The S&P is 0.17% up. It's almost going down. The Dow Jones is still the biggest gainer today at 1.08%, while the VIX continues to gain, guys. This is, like I said, guys, something is wrong here. And I believe that for the VIX to go up like this, despite of the stock market going up, I believe this is the reversal, guys. I believe this is the indicator that will tell everything that is going on. Even the fear and greed index is at 61 right now. So it means that the stock market, the people participating in the stock market, are more bullish than bearish. And that's once again, that is a major indicator that when people are bullish, yeah, that's when the markets decide to decline here. So let me just take a look at another indicator here. It's not an indicator, it's more of a market. Yeah, guys, but this is what I'm talking about. Let's take a look at Ethereum. The market actually it took a different route. It took something. The market actually changed, because yesterday I was talking about that Bitcoin was already starting to dump, and I will explain why. Yeah, it was basically around this level here. Let me just put it in here. Or no, it wasn't that. It was that. Yeah, here it was. Take a look at this. So what happened here was a fake out. Was a fake out to the upside. It dumped, and then it made a bear flag here, and it only dumped to this level here, 9,159. I was expecting a major move because this was a pull, but once again, the market reversed once again. It kind of made another fake out, and then another fake out, and then it started to drop, and then at 7 a.m. it started to go up again. And after 1 p.m., about 1 hour and a half of the markets open, Bitcoin started to show weakness here. Because once again, not even Bitcoin is correlating with the stock market anymore, because if the Dow Jones went a lot higher, that means that Bitcoin should have went at least to 9,400, and it just didn't want to do that. So like I said, guys, this is I believe this is the market is ready to preparing for the dump. And once again, the catalyst for the stock market to go up today was because of some vaccine news, that a vaccine was in the works and whatever. And according to many news outlets, it was because of that new vaccine to be developed that pushed the stock market higher. But whatever, man. Whatever, man. It's like I said, it's just all shenanigans. But let me just start to take a look at the news. What's going on in Portugal and around the world in regards of the news. So just a second here. Let me just share the screen here. Here is the fear and greed index. So what does that mean? Is that when the fear and greed index is above 50 to 61, is that it means that most of the markets participant are bullish, right? Most of the markets participant are bullish. If it is below, if it is around 40 to 45, it means that most people are bearish. The previous close, it was on Friday, was at 59. So like I said, people are bullish. So this is the perfect time to dump the market on the market participants right now. But yeah, that's what I believe. I believe that it is not done. I believe that many people are bullish, although I see a lot of people that are shorting the market, you know. But like I said, guys, the index is bullish, is more bullish than bearish. So once again, it means that everybody is bullish here. Let's take a look at what these guys are saying about the about how they calculate the index. So the stock price breadth. The Macmillan volume summation index measures advancing and declining volume on the New York Stock Exchange. During the last months, approximately 10.90% more of each day's volume has traded in advancing issue than in declining issues, pushing this indicator towards the upper end of its range for the last 2 years. So let me take a look at the put and calls options. Extreme greed, that's what I'm talking about. This extreme greed, when there is extreme greed, people are very bullish in the markets. During the last live trading days, volume in put options has lagged volume in call options by 47.09% as investors make bullish bets in their portfolios. This is among the lowest levels of put buying seen during the last 2 years, indicating extreme greed on the part of investors. So like I said, guys, there is extreme greed according to the indicator, although it's only saying that it is only greed, but most of the investors are very, very bullish on the market. So like I said, man, this is the perfect opportunity to dump the market on the people. But you know, we will see what it happens. But like I said, guys, I believe this is the beginning. Let's take a look then at the news here. Let's take a look at the news. So let's take a look first at international news. Let me go back here to the first page. So according to the BBC News, NY economy declining at much slower rate. Once again, these numbers are rigged, guys. Look, the economy is doing much worse than most of the forecast that they are doing, because the numbers that are coming out slowly, they don't lie, but people just ignore it, and the markets are just ignoring it. But whatever. So U.S. regrets foreign interference in Libya's economy. So Libya is bleeding. Libya is really going down the drain economically wise. So India was the first one. India is on lockdown again, if I'm not mistaken. You know, now Libya has a lot of problems because of its economy, because of the lockdowns. So here, once again, take a look at what's happening in Russia. Putting delays $360 billion spending plan as COVID-19 betters the economy. So, you know, like I said, guys, they're not going to solve this. The money printing has to shut down eventually. So U.S. economy shutdown saved up to 2.7 million lives. Analysis found. I believe this is bullshit, but my position about the pandemic's hoax. According to the research that I've been doing, man, viruses they are not contagious. They don't spread how they say they do. They are not airborne. You can't contract any kind of virus touching objects and stuff like that. This is just assumptions. Even e- even a guy that is a virologist, he made an assumption that that viruses can be spread to objects. But once again, no real evidence shown. So let's continue to take a look. So explain seeking why the Indian economy is struggling to recover its growth momentum despite lockdown. So look how the stupidity is in this newspaper here. So the Indian economy is struggling to recover because they are on lockdown again. The Indian population is on lockdown, and then they wonder why the economy is not growing. Man, how the hell is an economy going to grow if everybody is mandated to be at home, man? Man, these people, it's like I said, man, the insanity that we're seeing all around the world, it's just complete. Look, everybody's fucking insane. Nobody's using logic anymore. Nobody's using the scientific method anymore. Everybody's just plain nuts. Not everybody, the media. The media is nuts. And of course, they're making the population nuts because of the stupid news. Because it's not even about the fake news anymore. It's about the stupid fucking news. It doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever, man. The media has completely lost its common sense. It's just fear mongering and stupidity, man. It's incredible. And how people continue to buy this shit, man, is beyond me. So the Washington Post says here that uncertainty can ruin an economy. The bungled COVID-19 response just adds to it. Of course, because the bottom line is, I know that our health is important, but if we don't have the courage, and especially the governments and people that are governing, if they don't have the courage, despite being a pandemic or not, in my opinion, and according to research, according to doctors and MDs and whatever, there is no pandemic, man. There is no pandemic. There is no outbreak. There is only fear mongering. What people might be getting is some kind of a string of the flu, because the flu kills everybody. The flu kills every year from around, what is it, 240,000 to 650,000 people every year, and nonetheless, no pandemic was ever called last year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, because this flu virus, this influenza virus or the flu virus has been around since forever, and it has been killing these people all year to year. Do you understand this? So I do understand, and I feel for people that are dying, but like I said, man, the flu kills a lot of people every year. So the numbers are actually the numbers of the so-called COVID-19, because COVID-19 wasn't even identified. They are spreading all the bullshit about this so-called pandemic, and yet the COVID-19 virus is still to be identified. And this is not according to me. This is according to some research that I made with doctors and with some virologists. They haven't identified the virus yet. They haven't identified COVID-19. So if they haven't identified the COVID-19 since it supposedly broke out 5 or 6 months ago, then it doesn't exist. But yeah, like I said, man, look, you have to look into this, guys. You have to look into what's going on and the bullshit that the mainstream media and these politicians and the governments are spreading, because it's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit. So Boris Johnson, here's one simple trick to save the economy. I don't even want to read that. It is a problem for Japan. One supercharging, whatever, man. So China's economy recovering steadily, but hard battle ahead. Here's an investment that perfectly tracks the economy. I don't believe so. I won't even read this. So coronavirus. I reported this yesterday, I guess, as well. So Thousands protest in Israel over handling of economy. Well, you're starting to see what is happening here. Some countries or some people are already starting to riot and to turn against the government. Do you know why? Because they don't have money, and soon enough they will be out of money to pay for bills. Well, forget the bills. If these people are not having don't have money to eat, man, forget the bills, man. You know, that's what these stupid people, these governments and these stupid politicians have done to all the world economy. The world economy is done. People still don't understand and realize that, but the world economy is done. We're now on fumes. We're now on fumes, and as everything starts to rattle and starts to get into the real economies, we will see, you know, riots are already starting to happen in some parts of the world, and it will spread. You know, do you believe that the United States is immune? Do you believe that Germany is immune? Do you believe that my country, Portugal, is immune? Although, you know, we in this kind of stuff, you know, we're more Pacific, which is a bad thing that we have here. Everybody just follows you know, the leader and whatever. But we will see what happens. But it's, like I said, guys, starvation is what draws the line everywhere in the world. Because if people are starving, forget the bills and forget the rest. If people are starving, man, they will do anything to eat. So let's continue to take a look at these economic news. So does S&P 500 plus the economy COVID stock bubble? Oh yes, 3 hours ago. Lebanon's look here once again. Lebanon's economy collapses into a tailspin. So Lebanon's economy is done, like I was reporting on the first piece of news that I saw here today. Let me just take a look at what they are saying here. This is coming to a country near you, guys. Unfortunately, man, just because you live in a supposed in a supposed modern country or in a Western country, man, you will be affected as well. That's what I have to say about this. Before the coronavirus pandemic struck, the World Bank projected that at least 50% of Lebanon would become poor. Now the situation is looking even more desperate. Of course it is more desperate. Of course it's worse. What the hell are these people actually believing, man? The countries that were in trouble, and believe me, most of the countries who are in Europe have been in trouble way before this pandemic, and the United States as well. So now, once again, they're just going on fumes, especially the stock market. Opinion: India's economy needs a way out of short boom and bust cycles. Of course, well, how the hell are they going to get away if they're on lockdown, right? Triple blow for South America's economy. Among the tighter restrictions announced by the president, the alcohol ban is likely to have the greatest economic impact. So, like I said, guys, these politicians, man, they are destroying their countries. You know, Trump, and who is behind Trump is destroying the United States. In my country here in Portugal as well, the government, the prime minister, the president of the president of Portugal is destroying the country with the policies that they're doing. It's not because of COVID-19 that the economy is doing badly. Is because these politicians and the governments put the economy on lockdown, and people have to start to realize that. So let me take a look at the New York Times here, the week in business, what a Biden economy could look like. Look, these guys are in fantasy land as well. Once again, my opinion is that there will be no elections in the United States, because I believe that the second wave is already coming. So they will prolong the state of emergency, and the elections will be called off. I believe this is going to happen, guys. So they're just distracting everybody with the election stuff, and there will be no election, you know, in November or December or whatever, because of the second wave. And the second wave means more lockdowns. So it means a more prolonged state of emergency, because in the United States, the state of emergency lasts for 6 months. I guess we must be about 1 or 2 months until the state of emergency is over. and they will put another state of emergency, which will put the elections on hold. I believe this. So coronavirus, UK economy hit by worst contraction in 41 years. This was reported 2 weeks ago. So, just according to these numbers here, it tells you everything you need to know. 41, the worst contraction in 41 years, right? How the US economy is doing in its charts, electricity to jobs, uptick in economy, but that's flattening. So these people are still sugarcoating everything. But once again, in the United States, a lot of results and a lot of numbers are coming out. Tomorrow or Wednesday is coming. I can't remember anymore. But this week will be very important because a lot of results will be coming out. The next 3 months will reveal how badly the economy has been hit by the coronavirus. I actually believe them in the next 3 months because once again, man, what we are seeing here and the reason why especially the stock market is going up is because of the forecasts, right? The forecasts are really, the forecasts are just unrealistic. And yes, I believe that in 3 months, the world will understand how badly the world economy is being hit, because this is bullshit. Because once again, man, the economies are not recovering even right now. The economies are not recovering, right? Because the workforce, take a look at the workforce. Millions of people in the United States are jobless. We have here in Portugal, we have about it must be around the 600,000, with a population of 10 million, right? 600,000 people are jobless here. So reinventing the German economy won't improve without dealing with COVID. Once again, this is bullshit, guys. Because once again, I know that our health is important, but once again, I don't want to be a dick here, but I believe that the economy is more important, because the bottom line is you have to understand something here, right? You have to understand that if the world economy or a country's economy is not performing, if people are not working, man, a lot of people will get poor and will die. It will die more despite of the COVID threat, because if people don't have money to buy food, then people will die, right? So this is bullshit, man. They're saying that dealing with COVID is more important than dealing with the economy. It's bullshit, people. And once again, they are performing this, and we're starting to see the repercussions of that. Lebanon, India is shut down again. You will start to see more people starving in a lot of developed countries. So this is bullshit, people. This is bullshit. The economy needs to work for everything to work normal. Because if they shut the economy down like they did, if the people are not working, where is the money coming from? Most of the other countries, it's not like the United States that received the stimulus check here. Nobody here in Portugal received any stimulus check. Nobody in Spain received a stimulus check. Nobody in Germany received a stimulus check. Only in the United States. And they believe that they actually resolved anything with that. And the bottom line is the money is over. They're already saying that in the end of this month, they will be not pumping. They will not be going to give away any checks anymore. They're not going to buy back the bank stocks. So it's coming to an end. This pumping of money from the Fed is coming to an end. So the states of politics, lend to me the economy towards USD 5 trillion GDP, whatever. So I guess this is it. I don't see here any coronavirus spike in the dark days of summer saps economy of momentum. Netanyahu under pressure of coronavirus and economy. Money and job worries pose real threat to the economy recovery. Like I said, guys, look, killing an economy, and let's say that we really have a pandemic here. Let's say this pandemic was real, right? what is more devastating? To shut everything down and see that everybody comes through this pandemic, or continue to put the economy into working and put the people that are sick into hospitals, or stay at home. What do you think is more important here? I believe the economy of any country is more important than the people are getting sick, because once again, if this was a real pandemic, like back before 2009, before the World Health Organization, rewrote what a pandemic was. A pandemic was, death cases. It's like seeing people drop dead in the streets. We don't have that. I never seen anything like that. I haven't seen anybody drop dead in the streets. I don't believe that anybody in the world that goes outside, if you go outside, things are perfectly normal. Normal. Some people are going about their lives. Some people staying at home. Some people are wearing masks. Some people don't. But you don't see people dropping dead in the streets like flies. That was the definition of a pandemic, and that should be a definition of a pandemic. If people are dropping dead, not because people are getting sick in 40 or 50 countries, that doesn't make any sense. Because once again, even the numbers don't back it up. Take a look at the recovery cases against the cases that people supposedly died of, but you can't even trust these numbers. The numbers of death of the people that died supposedly according to the numbers from COVID-19 are 80 to 89% wrong because of the death certificates, right? They were pushing for the doctors to put the death put COVID-19 on a death certificate, although they didn't die of it. They just have to assume they didn't have to make any tests. So if you died of a heart attack, they put in that you died because of COVID-19. If you died in a car crash, it means that you died because of COVID-19. This is bullshit, people. You have to start to understand these numbers are out there. All you have to do is to research it. And once again, let's talk about the tests. The tests are all false positive. That's why they call this a immunodisease, because the tests are 80 to 89% wrong once again. So if the tests can be trusted, why are they pushing the tests on people knowingly that they know that they're not right, they're not accurate? That is the reality, guys. That is the reality of stuff. So once again, let's continue to take a look. I don't believe there's much more to read here. World's richest call for higher taxes to save the economy. Call for higher taxes? Well, I believe they want to pay for it, right? Although I don't guess so. The stock market and economy have, even the Washington Post is realizing this. The stock market and economy have parted ways. It's a FOMO market now. Oh, yes, it is, but it's going to end pretty soon. So let's continue to see. Warning. American big tech will dominate post-coronavirus economy. I still have my doubts about that. I don't even believe that the big tech companies will make it, I know that some companies are doing well, but once again, if people start to starve here, people will not pay their internet connection or the television connection or Netflix or Amazon or buying stuff online. When people start to starve, there is no economy to be made, right? So once again, guys, you need to continue to run the economy of any country, because if you don't do so, you're at risk. Even the companies are doing very well right now might not do well in the future if the population start to starve. Because if the population start to starve, they're not going to continue to pay their subscriptions, television, internet, everything digital, man. Right? Once again, that's why I don't believe that crypto is going to make it, because you can't buy food with crypto, guys. That is the biggest problem. If today, at least in one country, you would be able to buy food with crypto, oh yeah, I would be all in. But you're not doing that, right? So like I said, guys, This is all a bubble. And unfortunately, even in the cryptocurrency, look, if the economy was doing well, if we didn't have this pandemic, if we didn't have this lockdown, I believe that crypto would succeed. But things have changed since we are in 2020, man. And these people in the crypto bubble, they still haven't realized that. They still believe that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is going to the moon, is going to all-time highs and whatever. But once again, people are now more in need of buying stuff, buying real stuff, and especially buying food, than anything digital out there, guys. That is the bottom line. And once again, the crypto market is not ready. And why it is not ready? Because the guys that are surrounded by Bitcoin never did their jobs, right? Bitcoin has been around for what, about 11 years, but because the stupid motherfuckers there are the devs never fixed the fee, right? Never fixed the fee and the volatility that they can fix it. Nobody is accepting Bitcoin anymore, besides of some digital sites. Nobody is accepting Bitcoin in the real life to buy food, especially. I guess in Ukraine there was some news back then, but do you really believe that especially the elder people, that already passing difficulties, that are able to pay with money, do you really believe that these people are thinking about crypto, man? Crypto is the last thing that passes their mind with all the bullshit and all the crap that is going around the world right now. So that's the reason why crypto is done. But people still believe that for whatever reason that crypto is gold. Forget the gold. Forget it, guys. People need to eat right now and in the future. Even the ones that don't believe it right now, they will need to eat. It's not about paying for digital stuff anymore. It's about eating. In the future, it's about eating because of the motherfuckers that killed the economy, and people that still don't get it. They still don't get it, man. So let me take a look at what the Portuguese news are talking about here. So the Portuguese news. So it looks like in Lisbon they have extended the calamity state in the great metropolitan area of Lisbon because there are more cases there because of whatever. So the World Health Organization alerts that there will be no return to the old normal in a near future. Once again, they're continuing to push this rhetoric. Just take a look at the suits these healthcare providers or whatever you want to call them have. It's like they're working in a nuclear plant, right? Instead of working in a hospital. Look, pictures are more powerful than words, and that's what they're counting on, because this is complete fear mongering, guys. This is propaganda. This is fear tactics. So let's see other news related to Portugal. So government wants Belgium to take Alentejo and Algarve from risky zones. So once again, Portugal is suffering very big time economic-wise because of the lack of tourism here. That's our second or third sector here, especially for Algarve. So in Algarve, the unemployment rate is off the hook because there isn't near enough tourists, to employ people in the tourist sector. So, like I said, guys, we're in deep shit here. Here once again, so mom and pop shops in the zone of Lisbon, they have a lot of difficulties because of the pandemic, because of the lockdown. They're not making money. So although we have record temperatures in Portugal, here where I live in Coimbra, people are going out. They are going to out to drink and to have some beers and cool off in these I don't know what this is called here in English. So they're going outside. They're doing that. So recovery fund from the EU. Merkel says that she can't guarantee a deal. You see, man, everybody is waiting for money from the EU, and there's no money that will be coming, guys. So let me continue to see here. Immunity to COVID-19 may disappear in month. New study reveals. Once again, the propaganda continues. They show a study with absolutely zero proofs. They're just making predictions, guys. And science is not about making predictions. Science was never about making predictions, right? You have to put that in mind. This is not real science. This is pseudoscience. Science is about making about making experiments. That's what science is all about, not this bullshit that they're spreading here. This is not science. This is not science at all. This is just bullshit. This is just pseudoscience. Government. The Spanish government approves a plan to avoid a new alert state in there. So yeah, let me see if there's something more relevant to take a look at here. So it looks like Portuguese Prime Minister is with the Prime Minister of Holland as well. Yeah. Oh, even here, man, look how synchronized this is. Millionaires defend the rise in taxes, even here in Portugal, man. Oh no, this is from all around the world. So this is at stake with the news that I read. So let me take a look. So 80 millions from all around the world. They defend the rise in taxes in their own fortunes to help to pay for expenses related to the economy, man. Oh man, these people, they don't have enough money, man, to pay for this shit. And even them. Bankers and justice. So let me see if I see any more relevant news here. So Costa is uniting with Root, looking for convergency points here. So everybody's kind of trying to make a deal. Oh, here in Coimbra, where I live, Coimbra invests 2.5 million euros in the requalification of P9 walks. Wow. Is this important right now? With all the shit that is going on, is this the most important thing that you can think of? Jesus. Okay. Government is studying a form to harmonize report of banks over offshore transfers. Bullshit from the president of Portugal. So they're talking about bills. Everybody's passing bills. Some more bullshit news. So they're talking about the stock market. I believe that they will be crying in the near future. So this is once again about Belgium. Some more crap news here. So countries from the OPEP lost 18% of their income, of their oil income in 2019. So, this is 2019 news, They're not even talking about 2020 yet. Now the government is kind of saying that the people didn't paid about 437 million 0.8 million euros of their income, right? Yeah, I'm not seeing any newsworthy events or news right now. It's just kind of just bullshit that I'm seeing right now. So I guess this is it, guys. I don't have much to report here anymore. So it looks like Bitcoin is continuing to dump here. Let me just share the screen here. Yeah, guys, I really believe this is the beginning of the end here, man. Everything is starting to go south here, so everything is starting to go south. Let me take a look once again at what the Dow Jones is doing. We're about 1 hour and a half left. No, about 49 minutes left. So it looks like the Dow Jones filled the gap here. I believe that S&P might have done the same. Yep, the S&P also filled the gap here. Let's take a look at the NDX. So the Dow Jones is much stronger today than the rest of the markets. So yeah, the Nasdaq is also dumping hard here. So let me take a look at gold and silver, which I believe should be dumping a little bit as well. Yep, indeed. Not much, not as strong as the stock market, but they're dumping all right. And once again, guys, you have to understand that when the stock market starts to dump real hard, gold and silver, paper, of course, it will dump as well. Take a look at gold. Gold is going down as well. Let me take a look at the Euro USD, which I believe that the euro is losing ground here, although it gained a lot today. It gained a lot today. Here are what the Euro USD did today, but once again, man, the stock market stump and the euro weakens. The stock market pumps, the euro gains gains strength. So let's take a look at the oil market as well, which should be dumping here as well. Perhaps not very much, but it should be dumping. Yep. Well, oil market actually dumped some a little big too, Once again, take a look at the VIX indicator. The VIX indicator is continuing to go higher. So once again, guys, I believe this is the reversal that we're facing this week, or at least until the end of the month. And like I said, guys, this is not bullish news whatsoever here. So let me take a look at, let me close this window. Yeah, let me take a look at this. So the S&P 500 VIX, which is the VIX, is 18.25% up, gaining 5 points today. So now the Dow Jones is losing 0.003. The S&P is down 1%. The Nasdaq is down 2%, guys. 2.20%, guys. Right? So, like I said, guys, this is not an optimistic outcome. If you want to see a strength market or a market that is healthy and that is gaining weight, you don't want to see the VIX gaining. That is a reversal. So yeah, guys, man, this is really going to be very, very fucking bad. But yeah, people still believe that. Oh, here it is, the news. The news that I was covering here today. Why the market was actually down in the beginning of the session. Just let me just put it in here, man. Just let me put it in here. The UK oil. Yeah, this is it. So Wall Street jumps on positive start to earnings. Vaccine hopes. Dow hitches ride higher on positive vaccine reports. Once again, this was about vaccinations, right? Disney to close Hong Kong park. So let me just take a look at this stupid news that they're talking about here about some vaccine shit. So rose sharply on Monday with the Nasdaq at the fresh intraday record high as investors cheered signs of progress in COVID-19 vaccine development and an upbeat start of the second quarter earnings season by PepsiCo. Man, these guys are all fucking nuts. But like I said, guys, it's not going to end well. The VIX is gaining here. And when the VIX is starting to reverse, means that the stock market is not doing good. It's doing very poorly. Yep. Ethereum is now ready to dump here as well. So, like I said, guys, this is not looking good. It's not looking good whatsoever, man. Yep. I guess I will end the stream now. Nobody's actually watching here. I guess I have a new viewer. Let me just, report back to what is going on here. Yep, guys, the VIX is 16.93% up, and the VIX is always inverse correlated with the stock market. So if the VIX is going up, it means that the stock market is in big, big, big trouble, man. Big trouble. So yeah, let me just go back to the crypto market and see what Ethereum is doing. Let me go back to Bitcoin as well. So Bitcoin is performing very poorly as well. Bitcoin actually started to show weakness even before the stock market started to dump, because when the stock market opened around here, Bitcoin should have went up, but it just started to dump first, and then the stock market has dumped as well. So yeah, guys, look at the VIX. Look at what the VIX is doing here. Almost in the end of the sessions here. VIX is gaining big time here. And the VIX never goes up with the stock market, right? So if the VIX is going up, it means that the stock market has to come down. So what was the highs of the VIX? It was around 79.99%, around 90% here. So it reached the highs here when the markets performed low. Once again, I'll show you when did the VIX perform the highest. Look, the Dow Jones took a dump here at 18,273, and the VIX made, I believe this is the all-time high, at least according to the data, 79.4, right? So this is what I'm talking about, guys. Yep, looks like the VIX never had an index as high as it did right now. So or did it? When was that? 2009? Oh yeah, the last financial crisis. So in the last financial crisis, it went even higher, I guess, according to this. So yeah, guys, this financial crisis just started here, man. It's about 100 times worse than in 2008. Yeah, here it is. So the all-time highs was 96. We reached 85.4. So I believe that we still have more upside to go here. I don't believe this is it. Not even close. So that's where we are right now at 32. So get ready, people. Get ready for the implosion of the global stock markets. Get ready for the implosion of the real estate market. Houses, especially here in Portugal, have been making a lot of gains. Houses are more expensive than ever, especially in the metropolitan area of Lisbon right now. And I believe this is happening all around the world. This is not sustainable as people have less money, as the GDP shrinks. The price of the houses are unreasonably high. So yeah, guys, this is it. So I guess I'm going to afternoon from Holland. I spoke to you a couple of times. Hey, suddenly everything dropped 2 hours ago. S&P and everything was up. Nasdaq was 11K. What happened? Well, that's what I'm talking about here, about the S&P. The S&P is starting to go up, and generally what happens, the S&P, not the S&P, the VIX. And generally what happens here is when the VIX is starting to gain momentum, right? When the VIX is starting to gain momentum, the stock market is about to take a dump, like we can see here. Take a look at what happened to the stock market and what happened to the VIX here. Let me just remove these indicators so you can see better. Right? Look, when the markets dump in March, the VIX was at 79.4, right? So today, despite the stock market going up, the VIX started to go up here, right? So once again, guys, if the VIX is going up, it means that the stock market is about to take another dump here. So I know that the stock market is not correlating with all the stock market. The Dow Jones is actually the best performer of the day right now. Dow Jones is the best performer. It's filling the gap right now. The S&P performed poorly here. It dropped even more. It's dropping even more than the Dow Jones, and the Nasdaq is actually the worst performer of the day. As incredible it might be seen, right? The Nasdaq is the worst performer of the day. So once again, guys, take a look at the VIX indicator here and take a look at the stock market. I believe this is the reversal that I've been talking about. The stock market is about to go belly up, and yeah, not even the Nasdaq is going to be safe from all of this. So this is what's going on here. Once again, take a look at what happened when the Nasdaq dumped here. The VIX went up and up. Even comparing to Bitcoin, take a look. It's the exact same chart, man. There's no way you can dismiss it, man. Take a look. Bitcoin dumped here, made the lows, and the VIX was at all-time highs. So Bitcoin is not performing very well today as well, although the VIX is actually going up. So once again, man, this for me is the best indicator there is to show that the markets are rebounding. The VIX is going up. The stock market, Bitcoin, and crypto are going to take a big dump. I believe that we are going to test the VIX levels. We're not going to all-time highs yet. We're not going to 82. I believe that we might be going to 68 around that, then we will be going a little bit sideways, and then as the market continues to dump and make new lows of the year, the VIX will also go to all-time highs. So this is AEX also green. Yeah, AEX must be green because they already closed for a long time. So yep, the AEX is closed. So I believe they will be dumping tomorrow. Let's take a look at the DAX, the German stock indicator as well. Yep, the DAX was also showing strength here. So they did not catch up. So the markets closed at 4 o'clock, way before the dump started in the US. So the AEX, I believe it's the same thing. Must be closed at 4. Yeah, they were actually closing at a high. Yep, the AEX also closed at 4. So when the market opens tomorrow at around 8 to 9 a.m., yeah, these indexes will drop as well. So this is it. So yeah. Okay, guys. Okay, J Constant. I'm going to kill the stream now. I've been live in about already about an hour here. Covered all the market. Covered some news here. If I see anything new to report, I will come back. Until then, I'm the coin, and I'm out.